Hi guys, this is Sai Kumar Kurtiwada. In this video, we will learn about JavaScript conditional statements. So what are the different types of conditional statement and what is the purpose of conditional statements we'll see in this video. So here we have conditional statements. Whenever we want to execute some set of logic based on some conditions. For example, if something is true, I want to execute some set of statements. If something is false, I want to execute other set of statements. So in that cases, we will be using these conditional statements. And in this, we can use different types of conditional statements. One is simple if, and one is if else, and one is else if. So we have all these statements which we can use in our JavaScript, and we'll learn what are these different types of things which we can use in JavaScript with an example. So here first we'll target for this simple if. So let me go with simple if statements. So how we can define a if statement. So whenever you want to write some if conditions, then we'll be using something like if a keyword which is given by JavaScript, and within the parenthesis you will be writing some condition. So this is a syntax. So I'm writing a condition and this will execute. Okay, if condition is true, this will execute. Otherwise it just goes to the other set of statements. So what this condition can be, the condition can be anything, but it has to return true or false. So either true or false should be written to this particular condition. So you can use logical operators, you can use bitwise operators or anything, but we have to return a value as true or false, that is a boolean value. Then only this condition will be executed. So that is how the simple if will work. You can write n number of conditions by using this simple if. Let me show you with an example. For example, I have something called as where age is equal to 20. This is the age I gave for it. And if my age is greater than 18, console.log of something like eligible for voting. Let me consider this way, voting. And if age is less than or equal to 18, then my console.log will be not eligible for voting, and save this. So we have two simple if conditions, and later I will use something like console.log of execution completed. So save this. Now the sequence of execution will be from top to bottom. So it will go in a sequence of execution, and once this execution is done, then it will be displaying this execution completed. In our case, this execution completed is not dependent on any condition. So whatever the condition is, you will be getting this value. So now the value is 20. 20 means the age value is greater than 18, hence it will be showing this particular console. Let's see that. You can see eligible for voting and execution completed. For example, if I give something like 18, which is equivalent, then you will be saying not eligible for voting and execution completed. And one more thing is, let me go with 17. Even the 17 is also same, because we are using different conditions for greater than and less than or equal to. So less than or equal to have the same condition. So let me go and execute now. Not eligible for voting and execution completed. So this is how your simple if will work. But there is a problem in this case. The problem is you have age, but in both the conditions you are comparing age itself. That means these both are not independent conditions, they are dependent conditions. Whenever you have independent condition, that is absolutely fine if you write two simple if conditions. But in this case, what's happening is it is checking age is greater than or 18, and also it is checking less than or equal to 18. Actually speaking, these both are dependent conditions. That means if this condition is true, this will not be executed and will never be executed. And if this condition is true, this will never be executed. That means only some cases will be executed and some cases will not be executed. We know that they are dependent conditions. Whenever you have the dependent conditions and you have only two dependent conditions, one is greater than 18 and less than or equal to 18, then instead of using two simple if, I can use else, and just copy this, put it over here, so that it will not check twice. If the condition is true for the first condition, then only this statement will be executed and done. It will not check for other conditions. If this condition is false, it goes and execute this particular statement. So it will not execute twice or thrice. Instead, it will execute only the necessary times wherever it requires. So this is how we can check our conditions by using if else. For example, I have one more condition which are again dependent, but this time I don't have two conditions. We have three conditions. Let me consider three conditions. So in that case, what we can use is we can use something called as else if. And again, this is also a condition. So if age is 18, show this. If age is equivalent to 18, again that equivalent will return you a boolean value. So console.log of need one more year and save this. Now what it is doing, it is having three conditions and the three conditions are dependent on each other. So that's why we are using like this. If else if else, if my first condition satisfies, it won't check the remaining two conditions. If my first condition fails, it will go to the second condition. If second condition pass, it will not check the third condition. If both conditions fails in the starting, then it will go to the last condition. So we are making a proper decision. Based on the decision, we are trying to reduce our efforts for checking the conditions. So that is how your else if will work. So there are simple if and else if. Now we can use this in a way where we want to execute some set of conditions. So the thing is, you need to remember, when you have the conditions which are independent of each other, then you have to go with simple if. If you have a condition which is dependent on each other and you have only two conditions, then you can use if else. And if you have more than two conditions, then you can use else if each and every condition is dependent on each other. So that's how you can use if else if and if conditions in our JavaScript. Hope this give you a brief understanding of how to use this if conditions in JavaScript. And if you like my explanation, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off. Thank you.